King's Tide flapping against that walkway and also the seawall. There's a dog there. It's on. Please stay dry. Thank you for your olive dance, Bianca. Very sunny today, but cool. Very cool.
Yeah, and typically you could see a beach there. Right there at Mitchell's Cove. No beach there today because of those king tides coming in. They're going to keep coming for the next couple of days, although they'll start to wind down a little bit. Let's take a look. But there is a coastal flood advisory for essentially the bay shoreline up north of us. Locations up across the San Francisco Bay Area are dealing with coastal flooding from the king tides today. We didn't necessarily have any flooding here locally, but the water was very high. Today's tide was the highest of the set. Tomorrow's will be just a little bit shorter, but we'll still have a very high tide around 9:50 a.m. tomorrow morning. So if you're down near the water, places like the Elkhorn Slough, there's going to be a lot of water out there. Don't get yourself caught early tomorrow morning. Tide pooling as this big tide comes in, because you may find yourself trapped against the cliffs on the north side of the bay, for example. Just something to be aware of tomorrow. And then as we head into the day on Tuesday too, we'll still have a pretty high tide, but it'll be a little bit less than that. Now, king tides are typical this time of year. We usually get a set in December, January, and February. One of the reasons is the Earth is actually closest to the sun, and the sun's gravity is pulling on our oceans as well. But the other thing that happens in January is it's typically our wettest month of the year. So let's take a look at how much rain we typically see during the month of January. And in Salinas, we get about 2.5 inches. Same in King City. Santa Cruz, you get usually around 6.5 inches of rain, usually the wettest of the year. And for the most part, December is their coolest month of the year, so we actually start to warm up a little bit in January. Here are your average highs and lows for various cities across the Central Coast. So we're heading into the month of January. Obviously, we're a couple days in already. The question is it going to be the wettest month of the year? December is going to give you a run for your money, January. We'll take a look at any rain chances in that forecast coming up.
All right, look forward to that. Thanks, Dan.
You bet.
If you still own a BlackBerry, you better sit down for this. I've got some bad news for you. Starting this Tuesday, the company will officially stop running its support for BlackBerry 10 7.1 OS and earlier. That means all of its older devices will no longer be able to use data, text messages, or even calls. Back in September of 2020, the company announced that news is an effort to focus on security software to enterprises and governments around the world using the name BlackBerry Limited. Well, we're just getting started tonight at 11 o'clock. The new year roared into the state of Kentucky. People are cleaning up after a major tornado flattens the community. And later, we'll show you the moment an NFL player literally quits the team during a game. The rest of this very bizarre scene.